Hey guys, if you ever feel knee pain, low back pain, or you're just not seeing results with your squat, then this video is for you. My name is Kristen and I'm the founder of Kristen Giddings Studio, which is an online Pilates-based studio that helps you get stronger, ease pain, and just finally make movement a consistent part of your life. So let's talk about our form when we're in a squat. Your feet are somewhere a little bit wider than your hips. All 10 toes are going to face forward in a parallel position today. And we just start to send the hips back into our squat position. Now you've probably done hundreds, if not thousands, of these squats in your life in all different styles of fitness. So you're going to see this in your group training classes, to your personal training, to your strength, or even working with squats in our Pilates classes, right? This hip hinge squat position. Now, one of the first things that people talk about when they're in a squat is that they may feel low back pain. I'm going to turn to the side. When you come down into your squat position, you want to maintain this nice long neutral spine. So you can see the crown of your head is reaching in one direction, your tailbone's reaching in the other direction. You're bracing with the abdominals into the center. Oftentimes when people come to this space, they'll do one of two things with their back. They'll either overarch it. So when they come down, they have this exaggerated arch and curve of that low spine. Or the opposite, they'll tuck the tailbone. And they're in this rounded low back position, rounded shoulders. Either one of those spaces, whether you're rounded or you're overarching, is going to cause strain and tension into your back. So I want you to really focus on that nice long neutral spine, right? That when you're standing and you zip up that tight pair of pants, you engage the abdominals, that's the natural curve of your spine. That's your neutral spine. I want you to keep that when you come down into the squat. So you'll feel this brace into the abdominals in the center. Nice long neck. Breathing up, being careful we don't lift the chin or tuck it in, because that also can help throw off your alignment. Second thing I want to talk about is your knees. Then when we're coming down to our squat position, the knees don't knock together. You want to keep those inner thighs pressing away from each other. Find that alignment of your knees somewhere over the ankle. Does not have to be perfect. All of our bodies are different. We just want to make sure those knees aren't knocking in towards one another. And that's exaggerated. It may look slight like that for you, right? Barely can tell those knees are in, but when you push them out, you feel that outer hip start to work. It feels different. And then same thing with the knees facing towards that side. While there's been a lot of conversation that your knees can indeed go over your toes. That is a pathway of your knees, right? You think you've been down to the ground, knees are over the toes. So your knees don't have to stay perfectly back over the ankles, but when you squat, you do want to avoid those knees diving past the toes. Notice everything else in my alignment is off, right? Finding that diving forward space of the knees. What that's really coming from is your hip hinge. You want to push the hips back behind you. So when those hips glide back behind you, your knees will a little bit more naturally just find their space somewhere around the ankle, the center of the foot, versus those knees diving over the toes. So just talking about those three things in your form today, that low back, that spine, that when we come down, you're in your neutral spine, the crown of the head reaches, the abdominals wrap in, that the knees don't dive over the toes, but you're sending the hip hinge back, allowing those knees to be in that natural position and making sure that those knees don't knock in towards one another, but you're keeping that outward press of the inner thighs, the outer hips, so working through that spot. So those three form positions will help you alleviate pain and see better results with your squat.